What's going on YouTube? It is Sensational and welcome to today's video. In this one I will be covering my personal top 5 mistakes that I see new players make in PUBG. These are in no particular order and all carry equal importance, so if you are relatively new to this game and this video helps you out, be sure to let me know it helped in the comment section below, as well as hitting the thumbs up button. Kicking it off with number 1, don't be afraid to jump into heavily populated areas. I know this may seem daunting at first, the idea of jumping with everyone else, and believe me, it was nerve-wracking for me as well, but think of it this way, more times than not, where all the people are going is where the best loot is. Popular places can be seen on this map circled in red, with some locations in yellow being just as popular. My personal favorites are the military base and Georgia Pole, but keep in mind with these two places, you could end up outside of the circle with a long trek to the play zone. Number 2, always know where the play zone is, where it's going to be, and how much time you have left until the blue zone starts to shrink. Dying to the play zone is quite possibly the worst feeling associated with this game. In late game situations, this is much more common, but early to mid game, you should always be checking the timer in the bottom right and constantly checking your map and knowing ahead of time where you need to go and how much distance you have to travel in order to avoid dying outside of the play zone. Number 3, late game tactics are just as important as early to mid game tactics. When playing with squads, I notice a lot of people tend to get tunnel vision, which is, for example, staring too long at a tree where you think you saw an enemy, or looking in one direction and completely disregarding or forgetting your backside. This one might be the hardest habit to break for some of you, but once you do break it, you will find yourself making top 20 and top 10 situations far more often. Just remember this trusty rule of thumb. Regardless of whether you are a first-person player or a third-person player, if you think someone could come up behind you, change your focal point every 5 to 10 seconds, preferably 5 seconds. This way you are constantly covering your back and leaving any chance for death completely up to your skills with a weapon. Number 4. Now that we got late game tactics out of the way, let's talk about early to mid game tactics. While the only way to fully heal without a medkit is to use energy drinks or painkillers, those two STEM items, as I like to call them, have a much larger purpose. Because this game is so heavily RNG based, odds are you will be outside of the play zone. With this in mind, you have one of two options. Find a vehicle, which is always the better idea for the first 2 circles, or walking it. Regardless of which option you choose, stemming up before the blue zone gets to you can mean the difference between life and death once you actually get to the circle. Since you cannot heal or stem up in a vehicle while it is moving, stemming up before you get in the car is something I see way too many people neglecting to do when they have stems in their inventory. Number 5, last but certainly not least, this one is the most important in my opinion. Knowing your ability with a gun and how far away the target is can either land you a really sweet kill, or it can let the target you're shooting at know where you are. This is most prevalent in squad games where you are responsible for not only yourself, but 3 others at most. If you cannot 100% kill the guy you saw 300 meters out, don't worry about shooting. Unless this person is in the middle of a field with 0 cover, the element of surprise is always going to be your best friend. This also includes knowing which guns you work best with. If your recoil control isn't great at all, run an M16 or SCAR L with a foregrip. If you manage to find a compensator for an AR and your recoil control is decent, try running an M16 with a 4X or AK with a 4X as well. As a final little tip, remember that all of this knowledge that I'm giving you right now will not do you any good unless you practice. Learn to control your recoil, find out which guns you do best with, and remember to keep your cool if you make it to the final 10. Alright everyone, that is it for this one. If you enjoyed today's video, be sure to let me know by hitting the thumbs up button and thumbs down for the opposite. If you want to see more videos like this, be sure to let me know in the comment section below. If you are new around here, click the logo on the screen now to join the Sensational family. Again, thank you all for watching. It has been your host Sensational, and I'll catch you all in the next one.